Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be answering the question, should you be including weight training when you're very first starting to lose weight, or should you lose weight first before you start your weight training journey? Now, if you're new here, my name is Shannon from Shannon Billows Fitness. I'm here to make weight loss and training as easy and simple as possible. So if you find this video helpful, consider subscribing below for future videos just like this one. Now, this question came through to me on Instagram, and if you go and follow me on Instagram, my handle will be down below. You can send me your questions via Instagram, and I may just answer one of your questions via YouTube. And then this question has come through to me, which is, I have a question. I'm a very big girl, and should I focus on lifting 4 days a week and adding in some cardio, or do you think that I should worry more about losing fat rather than keeping and putting on muscle? Can you lose fat and put on muscle when in a deficit? There's a few questions within this, and we're going to tackle that one by one. So let's start with, can you build muscle and lose fat in a deficit? Yes, you absolutely can. And this is something that you should be trying to aim for. So there are only a few things that you need to build muscle, and that is adequate protein, adequate stimulus, getting enough sleep and recovery, and also water. Provided that you're getting all of those, you will build muscle over the long term. Now, there are a few factors that are going to play into this in terms of how much muscle you can build, such as how big your calorie deficit is. If you're in 1,000 calorie a day deficit, it's going to be harder to build muscle compared to if you're in a 500 per day calorie deficit. Secondly to this, it's also going to play a role if you're brand new to strength training compared to someone who's been doing this for the last 10 to 15 years. If you've been doing this for longer, you're much more likely to be closer to your genetic potential, which means you probably have much less muscle mass to gain. In that case, it may not be in your best interest to try and do a recomp. But if you're brand new into weight training, you can build a fair amount of muscle in the first year or so, and you can lose a significant amount of weight at the same time. And I know because I've also done this, and I classify myself as an intermediate trainee. To give you an example, here is a photo of myself where I stayed exactly the same weight over the course of 8 weeks, but you will notice that I'm significantly leaner in the right-hand side compared to the left. So my weight didn't change. I was training 5 days per week, and you don't need to train 5 days per week, by the way, but this was just my program. I was in a small calorie deficit, about 500 to 600 calories a day. I had adequate training stimulus, adequate protein, my sleep was good, and I was able to achieve these results. And I'm not a newbie, I've been training for quite a few years. So if I can achieve these kind of results in 8 weeks, a brand new beginner to weight training can definitely achieve, gaining a significant amount of muscle and losing a lot of fat at the same time. Now, the second portion to this question relates to the person and how much weight they have to lose. Your priorities are going to be different depending on what stage you are on your fat loss journey. So this person who I spoke to is over 100 kilos, which is about 200 pounds. So the main goal for this person is going to be to try and get the fat off as fast as we can. And the number one way to get fat off fast is to take your calories down low. The lower you take your calories, the faster you're going to lose weight. Now, I'm not saying to starve yourself, so before you exit out of the video and say Shannon's a promoter of 500 calorie a day diets, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you want to be in a decent amount deficit depending on how large you are. The larger you are, the more body fat that you have to lose, the lower in calories you can go safely while still losing a very good amount of body fat. And then the opposite happens as you get leaner. So as you get leaner, you have less body fat reserves available, which means you usually have to have a smaller deficit to prevent you starting to eat into your hard-earned muscle. But having said that, and I say this to all of my clients as well, if you're not putting effort physically into weight training or physical exercise, the far majority of people aren't going to stick to their nutrition plan. I'm exactly the same. I know, for example, if we went through lockdown and I wasn't able to go to the gym, my nutrition just went out the window. And I knew that if I had kept my calories low, I wouldn't have gained as much fat as I did. But because I wasn't putting the physical effort into my training, I just didn't put as much effort into my nutrition. So I do absolutely believe that everyone should be doing some form of physical activity. I'm biased to weight training because it's fast, efficient, and it usually gets you from point A to point B the quickest. Secondly to that, just do what you enjoy the most, whether that's biking, swimming, yoga, whatever you like, As long as you stick to it, you're going to make a long-term plan out of it. A calorie deficit is the only way you can lose body fat. And yes, provided that you're getting adequate stimulus from weight training, you're getting enough sleep, getting enough protein, and your calorie deficit isn't too low, you can gain muscle and lose fat at the same time, well up until you're an intermediate trainee. Once you start getting into the advanced training levels, it starts to become much harder. Now, I hope you found this video helpful and it answered some of your questions. If you did, please make sure you give this video a quick like and a subscribe. Really appreciate it. It shows me that I'm doing a good job with my content. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and send me through any messages that you may have or any questions so I can answer them for you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.